What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today we are going to be jumping into some BT10 content. Today we have myself on the left playing Crossheart, and then on the right we will be having Jesse. He's going to be on the new Jesmon deck, coming out with some new cards from the new set and the new starter deck. So starting off, I get that Shoutmon and Raising, which will give me that red source to play Fireball. I'm not going to delete anything off of it, but I do get to draw 2, which is mostly what I'm looking for. You need that Fireball to be able to delete things like Solarmon, which will be in this list, but I also need to get draw early because I need to see Tamers. If you don't see Tamers with this deck, it can hurt pretty hard. So I am going to go ahead and put the other Taiki in hand and put the Starmons to the bottom there. Going to go ahead and swing in now, get that draw off Starmons, and since I do have a Tamer now, I can save that Shoutmon underneath, and then I end up just playing the other Taiki here. I reveal 3 Darulamon as well as the yellow Tamer, and I forget for a second that the yellow Tamer can play the Darulamon from underneath your Tamers, which is why I'm thinking about it here. I was considering putting 1 in hand, 1 underneath, but there's no reason because I can play out the yellow Tamer, and then that its on-play effect will allow me to play the Darulamon from underneath my Taiki, so might as well just get the Tamer out there so I can get those extra draws later. So Huckmon's going to be able to search, hitting a Jesmon and a Jesmon X, so going to be set up to go for the later game, but as of right now, all they have are rookies, so not even built up to a champion, so we'll take at least a couple more turns for them to build up here, but as of right now, I do have the Crimson Blaze in hand, which is obviously going to be very strong versus this board, and also just the deck in general, but I do have to play the full 6. I can't reduce play cost because of the Solarmon, so gonna have to still play it for that full 6, but clear all 4 rookies that are off the board, make my opponent essentially completely restart, and get rid of all the aggression that they had on the board here. They still don't have a rookie, gonna go with another Master Disciple, so when they do start to Digivolve up, they will be able to pop off, but with that kind of semi-weak earlier start that got punished by the Crimson Blaze, they could just start to fall behind here now. I have the double Taiki, and I'm starting to get the sources that I need. I'm still missing Ballistamon as well as the Sparrowmon for the X5, but once I get a Ballistamon to go for the X4, I can start going in for that. So as of now, I'm just going to go ahead and play the Tamer out. Akari's on play will make it so that I can play out the Darulamon, pop that Sistermon with Darulamon's on play, and then suspend the Akari to be able to draw a card when a Crossheart is played. So getting that cycle going, but just going to start off with the swing. If I do get deleted, it is fine because I will just save it once again. And then now I'm going to go ahead and go with the X4. Now with the Ballistamon in hand, I can go ahead and just play out for just 1, and then I will be able to on-play draw 2, and then Akari tap to draw a 3rd card. So gonna swing in here. Gonna survive so I can go for the end of turn effect here, which is gonna allow me to put these sources underneath. And then now I am just gonna go ahead and go in for an X5. I can't go for another X4 because I have to pay at least 1 memory, so it would pass turn. I am missing the Zenjiro, so not gonna be able to do that, but I can go for the X5 right here, which will have Rush. I will be able to swing, and since it is surviving, that means now I will be able to have Reboot thanks to the Sparrowmon and have that blocker as well. So going into my opponent's turn, they're not going to have as much to do because I just put a Shoutmon in back. I have the blocker with the X5, and then now with the Zenjiro coming out, I get to play a Ballistamon, which is another blocker on the board, and with the Zenjiro out, it makes it much easier to be able to go for multiple X5s, especially because I have double Taiki out. So gonna go ahead and Digivolve up into Jesmon here. Going to start with the when attacking effects, draw with the Guri, Bow Huckmon's when attacking will pop the Ballistamon, and then play out the new Seal, which is going to be able to Digivolve into Jesmon X, and then now we are going to be able to play a Jesmon from the Savior as well as the Jesmon X. So gonna need to set up blockers for sure. You need the Blanc to come out because even if you clear on board, I still have the Shoutmon in back, so unless the Blanc that gives all the Sistermon blockers come out, they are gonna be a little rough. There is the blocker Blanc, so that is big. They do all have plus 2k DP, so I can't clear this with something like Fireball, but if I do have Crimson Blaze could still help me out here, but gonna go with another Blanc here, so even if I did have the Fireball and was able to clear it, I wouldn't be able to stop all the blockers now, but if I do have something like another X4 that can come out, I will have the attacks that I need, so gonna promote out the Shoutmon here. I know going into this turn that there is a small chance that I can actually go for game with what's in my hand and how many sources I have underneath my Tamers to be able to go for things like X4 or X5, but I can swing in right here, get the draw with Starmons. They're thinking about which one they want to block with. You can't can't win the game with piercing there, so they still are alive here. Now, still looking at my hand, I am going to go ahead and swing in the Shoutmon. That is going to just allow me to get the draw with these Starmons, because I don't really need it on the board for anything. If they block, which they have to, it's fine, because I can just save it, put it underneath one of my Tamers, and now I'm thinking about what is going to be the best plan. After a little bit, I'm going here looking at all the buffs here, and because of the DP boost, I know I can't pop the Sistermon, so I am just going to go ahead and go with the Sunrise, which is going to be able to pop the Jesmon, and leave my opponent with just 2 Sistermon on the board with nothing in raising, and they're going to have to build back up. And because I have the Ballista and the Shoutmon in the raising with the Zenjiro and now the Tai, I am guaranteed to be able to go into X4 next turn no matter what, and potentially go into it twice. So my opponent doesn't have a champion after Digivolving up and just scoops it up there. They could have played out the Solarmon, but then they're not really going to be safe anymore because I do have the Fireball that I couldn't play last turn, and I would be able to start picking off their rookies. So going on into the next game, we start off with the Solarmon in raising, so having that out earlier could be pretty helpful, but the thing about putting Solarmon in raising is it's going to a lot of the times be much better for you to just build up your stack than promoting out, because you want to start to build up into Jesmon as much as possible, and if you promote here, then you're going to have to pretty much wait until next turn to start building up again, which would just kind of waste one turn. So gonna go with the Shoutmon here, gonna be able to grab Taiki and another Shoutmon out of there, just making sure that I grabbed 1 Digimon and 1 Tamer and not just 2 things with Crossheart. And so, like I said, they do have to start building up in raising, so the Solarmon isn't going to come into effect just yet. Potentially later, there is more than 1 in the build, but now going for the red memory boost, gonna be able to grab out what I believe was the Bow right there. So gonna have a target that they could go over their Huckmon, and if they were looking for an ultimate there, then that is a little bit rough, but at least being able to have a little bit more cycle is nice, and then being able to have the red memory boost to give you that extra memory will be nice. Doesn't have the to master to disciple, but this will work pretty much the same, if not better. Now gonna go into the one of old savior here, so gonna be able to unsuspend when swinging, so gonna go with the Jesmon, gonna blitz, use the savior to unsuspend, and now effects will resolve, so can go for the Guri. The Bauhuck will be able to pop the Darulamon, so that will just save, and then gonna be able to play out Sistermon number 1, which will go into Jesmon GX, and then this will trigger a secondary Sistermon play. So even if they play CL here, they can't keep turn. They can choke me to 1, which is a little bit annoying, but if they were able to keep turn, it would be much more devastating, because then the Jesmon could swing again. But they are gonna play the seal just to buff DP. Pierce 2 here, gonna check no Darumon in hand, but I can play one from the sources. They're all buffed, so it doesn't really matter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give minus to that Sistermon seal right there, just in case I do want to go in for some sort of Crimson Blaze or something like that. But as of right now, I do have the Darulamon out. They don't have blockers, so I can go in for these swings here, still just get chipped, and I can once again save it underneath my Tamer here. Now I don't really have the best play to go for here, and I'm a little scared, so I want to set up a blocker, so I decide to go for the X5. I only have 4 of the sources, which means it reduces for 8, so I'll put my opponent at 1, but still get the X5 out, still going to be able to get blocker up, and now I'm threatening next turn to be able to swing in for 2 checks. I am missing the Ballistamon, which means that I won't have piercing, so if the Blanc comes out, I won't be able to pierce through, but they are going to swing in, unsuspend, and hit Crimson Blaze, which is going to pop the 2 Sistermon and stop my opponent from being able to play Digimon from effects for the rest of the turn. And Zenjiro getting hit, and I do play the Ballistamon out. I did have it in hand, but I didn't have a way to put my opponent at less than 3 or 4 memory if I didn't play the X5 for 4, so putting it for 2, and then I have the Ballistamon out, and then now I get that extra body, and it just doesn't really matter, so I'm going to go ahead and swing in. Should have swung in with the X5 right there because I get the 2 checks. I don't know why I wanted to swing in with Shoutmon. I felt like I needed to get the draw in case I hit some sort of removal, but there is no removal to be scared of in the list, so should have just swung in there, but regardless, going to be able to take it. So Crossheart being able to take the first set of BT10 here on the channel. But if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace out.